In this module, we shall be delving into the concepts of security compliance and auditing. Now, before we dive into the topics, it is important for you to understand the terms, what they mean for an individual or an organization, and how they are actually deployed in order to fulfill their set purpose. Get into security compliance. As the name suggests, compliance defines the process of verification in which the controls in an organization measure up to the standards that the organization aspires to achieve. Security compliance is just one aspect of it, when oversees only security related controls of the organization. Security compliance is considered to be one of the most important aspects of the IT industry. In present times, when cyber threats loom large over the digital resources of an organization, security compliance provides a certain level of assurance that the physical and digital assets are functioning as intended and with maximum efficiency and security. The demand for professionals well versed in security compliance has seen an exponential growth. Now, all this sounds well and good on paper, but it is important to understand what is the real use of compliance from a practical perspective. With organizations putting more emphasis in enhancing the security capabilities and setting proper security measures at the planning stages, such precautions do not make compliance a redundant task. Compliance is required to ensure that the external and internal functions operating in an organization are as per the standards. In other words, it is as per the levels of efficiency and security that the organization requires them to be. Security compliance takes all the aspects of an organization, such as financial, technical, or business processes, into account. Apart from internal usage, it also helps build up the organization's reputation in the respective industry. Compliance being an abstract concept, a general set of standards is required in order to implement it in real practice and to make sure other entities associated with the environment understand the functions of the processes. In order to put forth a common benchmark to evaluate the features and processes of organizations around the world, certain standards have been proposed which are stringently followed by all. These standards are specific in nature and have been created keeping in mind the different grounds of evaluation of different domains in the IT industry. Some of the notable standards which are widely used in the industry are ISO 27001 2005 and PCI DSS. These shall be discussed in brief in the following slides. The figure seen here demonstrates the aspects of an organization and how ISO 27001 standard relates to it in order to provide an adequate level of assurance as far as the efficiency of the business processes are concerned. The domains covered here are security policy, which governs the overall documentation of the organization's security, organization of information security, which defines the structure of information security implementation and its various aspects, asset management, which manages organizational assets, human resources security, which covers security of organizational manpower, physical and environmental security, which facilitates physical perimeter based security parameters, communications and operations management, which, as is obvious, deals with the digital, social and business related operations and communication, access control, where the access permissions for digital and physical resources are looked after, acquisition, development and maintenance, which means dealing with the information system deployment and maintenance, information security incident management, which is associated with security incident handling and response, business continuity management. In here, the business processes of the organization are assessed and handled with utmost care, and at last, compliance. On the right side, the control domains are associated with the organizational structure wherein proper correlation is deployed with the technical and non-technical processes. Now, while ISO 27001 offers security compliance benchmarks for an organization, several other standards have also arisen based on specific requirements of the relevant industry that the organization focuses on. With that in mind, in this module, we shall turn our attention to another common standard known as PCI DSS or Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. This governs security controls over the data and information handled by the information systems for organizations engaging in offering online payment services for other organizations. Going into the set of guidelines defined in the standard, I shall list them as ordered in the standards documentation. First, to build and maintain a secure network. In this, the guidelines stipulate that vendor supplied default passwords and other system configuration should not be used, and a firewall should be installed and configured to protect cardholder data. Second is to protect cardholder data. Here, the recommendations guide the compliance expert to focus on protection of stored cardholder data as well as protection of transmitted cardholder data across open and public networks via encryption schemes. The third point is to regularly monitor and test networks. In this part, the recommendations are to track and monitor all access to network resources and cardholder data, and also to regularly test security systems and the underlying processes. The fourth point is to maintain an information security policy. In this, the document recommends that the information security responsibilities should be clearly defined and documented. A policy should be developed and maintained which focuses on all aspects of information security. The fifth point is to maintain a vulnerability management program. Here, the stipulations state that antivirus programs should be used to their full extent across the network with regular updates, and security processes should be properly implemented to pave the way for security systems and applications. The sixth point is to implement strong access control measures. For this part, the document states that access restrictions should be placed on the cardholder data on a strictly business need-to-know basis, and unique IDs should be assigned to each individual with computer access. Together with ISO 27001, this set of compliance standards are the most common for organizations which focus on information security.